Hey Psalmcasters, it's time for Psalm 27. Going to do something a little bit different today. We've got David running on a theme that's repeated in a lot of Psalms, so I thought it'd be interesting to look at some different translations of the Psalms coming up, depart from our New International Version and see some other versions, see what the language does. So what we're going to do right now is use the paraphrase created by Eugene Peterson, Whitefish, Montana, to talk about Psalm 27. So let's go ahead and get started with that reading. Light, space, zest, that's God. So with God on my side, I'm fearless, afraid of no one and nothing. When vandal hordes ride down, ready to eat me alive, those bullies and toughs will fall flat on their face. When besieged, I'm calm as a baby. When all hell breaks loose, I'm collected and cool. I'm asking God for one thing, only one thing, to live with God in God's house my whole life long. I'll contemplate God's beauty. I will study at God's feet. It's the only quiet, secure place in a noisy world, the perfect getaway from the buzz of traffic. God holds me head and shoulders above all who try to pull me down. I'm headed for God's place to offer anthems that will raise the roof. Already I'm singing God's songs. I will make music to God. Listen, God, I am calling at the top of my lungs. Be good to me, answer me. When my heart whispered, seek God, my whole being replied, I am seeking God. Don't hide from me now. You've always been right there for me. Don't turn your back on me now. Don't throw me out. Don't abandon me. You've always kept the door open. My father and my mother walked out and left me, but God took me in. Point me down your highway, God. Direct me down a well-lighted street. Show my enemies whose side you're on. Don't throw me to the dogs, those liars who were out to get me, filling the air with their threats. I'm sure now I'll see God's goodness in the exuberant earth. Stay with God. Take heart. Don't quit. I'll say it again. Stay with God. So David is kind of on a roll here. Started back Psalm 24 or so, talking about calling on God for help, but also doing so in an effort to have God help David put down David's enemies. So when we look at the NIV version of this psalm, we see language that says, like this is verse 3, for example, though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. The war break out against me. Even then, I will be confident. There are translations of the Bible that call this a psalm of confidence, a psalm of courage, a psalm that claims a special relationship with God, which David apparently had. Special relationship, not so much in that God specially chose David, but in that David specially chose God to put his trust into. It seems like David didn't have a lot of other people that he could trust, so that's a pretty good choice. I think that's what it comes down to. What are we going to have our courage and our confidence in? What are we going to put our faith in? And when we put our faith in God, it's not a promise that we will never be disappointed. That's not the way that works. But it's a promise that we will always be accompanied. And that works pretty well for me. Let's have a prayer. Holy Spirit, Holy God, who inspires this confidence, let our own hearts be brave and trusting in your love and in your presence and in your accompaniment always. Thanks be to God. Be blessed. Be a blessing. And we'll see you next time.